Okay, testing. Guys, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. We are live. I'm your host, TheKempire, and this is our weekly recap, our weekly Thirsty Thursday, where we recap reality TV news. We're also going to do a little pop culture news because we weren't live yesterday when the news broke that Stephen Twitch boss took his life. And there's a lot that's been coming out since then. If you missed our full report on all the details, be sure to check out the last two videos that we did on that story. But a lot of people are coming out, and even people that I didn't realize had been affected by his life, his energy, and everything that he brought into this world. I didn't know. I didn't realize how many people really, loved him as much as, as I did, and watching him and was uplifted by just the sheer joy that he put out into the world. So I did want to start off with that story, but guys, before we even get into that, I always love hearing where you guys are watching from. If this is your very first time here, please let us know. If this is your very first live, please let us know as well. Replay crew, the same goes for you as well. And this is our Thirsty Thursday. Thirsty Thursdays is just a mashup of reality TV news. And as I said before, we're going to add a little pop culture news because of the important news that broke yesterday in regards to Twitch and his life and him taking his own life. And one of the videos that I did yesterday in a follow-up to that story, I had said to you guys, and look, I know some of you just want to comment and you don't watch a video and you didn't hear my disclaimer. Please leave your conspiracy theories, your negativity somewhere else. And I also know even if you did hear that, you're still going to do it regardless. But I'm just going to remind people, our community understands this. I'm going to remind people the negativity that you put in the comment section, the negativity that you put out in the world does not affect me. It doesn't affect the people that you're talking about. It affects you. So be mindful of what you say, what you do, and what you tell yourself. So if you go in on people's pages and decide I'm going to say something negative or I'm going to have conspiracy, look, I do believe conspiracy theories have that validity, but there is a time and place. And one of the things that I said in my video yesterday, I didn't know it to be true until I saw people that were actually people from Twitch's life commenting in the comment section, people that he had worked with, people that were friends with him, commenting in the comment section. So the last thing that they need to see is your conspiracy theory or your negativity. So all of that being said, so a lot more is coming out in regards to the last moments. We did a video yesterday talking a little bit about that. Since then, Ellen DeGeneres has released a statement because, as you know, Twitch worked with Ellen on the Ellen DeGeneres show, started off as her DJ, and then became an executive producer in 2020, which is huge. When you think about the level of what, the Ellen DeGeneres show was until its end, it's a huge deal to be considered an executive producer. Kaylin, who was also on the Ellen DeGeneres show, said, when you journalists are reporting on Twitch's life, be sure to understand he wasn't just someone's sidekick. He wasn't just a DJ. He really was an integral part of what kept everything together over at the Ellen DeGeneres show. And that, to me, was like, that makes complete sense as why she would make him an executive producer. Because at first, I remember when they announced that, I was like, oh, why are they making him an executive producer? It just, you wouldn't think that. And now we understand why. And also, look, this is my show. I can say what I want. All of you that are tired of people saying, oh, check in on your strong friends. No. I've said this all the time. Every time we report on someone passing away, it's a reminder to the living to live more fully. So it's also a reminder to the living to check in on your friends, your family, your strong friends, the people that you might sense, yeah, they give me happy on the outside, but there's something else going on. Let me check it. Or a random thought of that person comes up and you're like, oh, I'll check in on them later. No, check in on them now. You never know. It might be that phone call that might be helpful to them in that moment. Okay. So as I said to you before, more is coming out. A preliminary autopsy has been done. As I said to you before, we already had in a sense when TMZ broke this news how Twitch died. But of course, there still is a preliminary autopsy. on how that is going to be handled. So that has been done, and they are confirming that it was a self-inflicted gun wound. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Shout out to everyone in here. Guys, don't forget to say hello to our mods. Thank you to our mods. We cannot have these types of conversations without our moderators. Shout out to our moderators. Again, if you are a moderator of the channel and you have not emailed me yet, please email me. Those of you that have emailed me, I have replied, I believe, to everyone. Okay. But I just wanted to make sure I had everyone's emails. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Hey, what's going on, Julie? What, Mocha, I literally thought about Mocha Rain the other day. I thought about you the other day because certain subscribers that have been subscribers for a very long time that call in and I get it. A lot of people are back in the office. A lot of you are part of the replay crew. But Mocha, I literally had a thought. I was like, I wonder how Mocha's doing. Then also I had the thought too, because, every once in a while y'all get mad with me and then y'all leave and never come back. But some of you come back because you're like, no, but some of you are busy. And I thought about you, Mocha. So I'm hoping that all is well with you. Hey, Latasha, what's going on? Okay. Hey, Diana Armad. Shout out to all our mods in the chat. Mama Ali. Judy's in the chat. Carolyn, when I see Carolyn's picture, I'm like, okay. Certain pictures, certain people that just stand out because of their default pictures. So, hey, Carolyn. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from. All right. Thank you, Candace. Candace says, I'm so glad you said this. People have no idea how much folks can be struggling. The conspiracy theorists are bothering me. And look, it's okay to have your conspiracy theory. What I'm asking in regards to the videos that I've done covering this story is that save it for your kitchen table talk. Save it for your friend on text, on your texting group. Because literally, and in yesterday's video, literally, there were still people commenting those things, but there were also friends and family and people that have worked with Twitch that were commenting and talking about how they met him. So the last thing that they need to see is people's conspiracy theories. Also, TMZ had an update this morning in regards to this story, in regards to Allison Hawker. Shout out to my girl, Layla Lynn. Layla Lynn did an incredible video celebrating the life of Twitch and gave you a little bit more background on his love story with Allison as well. So I implore you guys, after the live, I'll post a link in the description, but you can head on over to Layla Lynn Media's channel to see the video that she did yesterday celebrating his life and just his story. And, before he was on Ellen and how he met his wife. And it was such a great video. So be sure to check her out. We collaborate with Layla and Grace Report every single Monday for our Real Housewives of Potomac recap. Hold on, y'all. I've been feeling like this thing is way too high. There we go. Perfect. I felt like my table was way too high. Anyways. Let's get into, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Twitch story. Normally we don't cover pop culture news on Thursday. We save that for every other video and our Tuesday takeover. But I wanted to mention Twitch because it happened yesterday and I know so many people are still just so shocked and so surprised. Again, a reminder that you just never know what someone is going through, okay? Yesterday in our community tab, I posted a genuine question asking our community and the community of YouTube, because in the community tab, that's everyone on YouTube can see it. How are you? And when you ask that question to people, a lot of times you're just saying it without really expecting someone to respond. And shout out to everyone that was sharing their personal stories in the comment section of the Twitch videos, but also in that community tab. I'm sending you guys nothing but love and support and prayers. Look, we can't save everyone, but what we can do is pray and wish and intend good for everyone. So I did want to say that. Let me say thank you for the super chats. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Julie says, thank you for stating what should be obvious, to check on all. It absolutely can save a life. It's worth the check-in. Thank you, Julie. Oh, wait, I forgot to put up my Christmas stuff, y'all. Hold on. No. We cannot. It's still the holidays. So I still need to put up my stuff. Hold on. There we go. Lord, still gotta put up my holiday stuff. All right, happy holidays too. I know we started off with a little darkness, but We had to talk about it. There's no way we could do this live today and not talk about it. Rosina, thank you so much for the super chat. Rosina says, Kemp, you are the best and a great man. Thank you for everything and being a voice of reason, respect, and love. Rosina, thank you so much for that. Look, I can only try. I don't get it perfect. I'm not perfect. I appreciate the love and the support and how you guys uplift me every day. But I always remind you guys, I'm not perfect. I'm not always going to get it right. Bella, thank you so much for the super chat. Bella says, we all know Hollywood has weird energy, but we should always remember to offer love and positivity at all times. Thank you, Bella. Agreed. Look, we report on the weird, Holly weird, but there's a time and place. There's a time and place when we're reporting on these stories. And look, like I said before, we don't always get it right, but we try. That's our intention. All right. Moving on. Where do I start? There's so many shows that I want to talk about. You know, normally we talk about Below Deck Adventure. We talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm going to start with Below Deck Adventure. So Below Deck Adventure is a new spinoff. And I told you, I'm not sure how I'm feeling about Below Deck Adventure. I'm not loving this cast. As you know, they had a little bit of a crossover with Heather Gay from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And she brought nothing. I actually thought this would be my favorite episodes with Heather Gay, and she really brought nothing on Below Deck Adventure. And they were already struggling because the cast are not great. The cast for this new season is not great. And I don't believe that the ship is haunted. I believe that the producers are trying to get this cast to give them something. The only one that really to me has pizzazz or personality is Nathan. And poor Nathan in this last episode fell. Oh, I think a producer put water on the steps. Okay, sidebar. I'm not going to tell you who told me this. But someone told me that they tried to set up Captain Carey, one of the production allegedly, at the beginning of the season. They tried to set him up by, I think there was some sort of mechanical error with the ship, but Captain Carey is a captain. So he was just like, you know, I'm going to get there early. I'm going to check on all the things. And he found this issue. Allegedly, they were trying to set him up. Not in a bad way, but just to cause drama for the ship. Allegedly. And I think that's part of the reason why every time I'm watching this season, I'm looking at the producers like, you guys are up. I don't understand why they would play these sort of reindeer games with Below Deck, because this is one of the reasons why I love Below Deck is the reality of you have to have a skill set to be on this show. But anyways, so as you already know, they got rid of Kyle, so they had to get a replacement deck crew guy. So they got another American to replace Kyle, and he has a lot of skills. Like he is very experienced. He's even a captain. So everyone's concerned with this newbie coming on who has all of this experience coming on as a deckhand. And when you have a bosun that is... Hold on, y'all. When you have a bosun that is not... he's very beige, like Faye would say. He's very beige. He is not a great leader. He is still trying to have Oriana be his girl. And she's got this new eye candy, but this new eye candy is more interested in Faye. And I'm happy for Faye because Faye needs a little something. She's dealing with a lot on this ship. Dealing with a lot. I have to say, though, watching Below Deck and watching Below Deck Adventure together is making me mix up the cast a little bit in my head. I was like, wait, are those people on this particular ship? Look. Again, for me, it's all about Nathan. It's all about Nathan. I'm still going to continue to talk about Below Deck Adventure on Thirsty Thursday, but it's not giving what it's supposed to give. The ratings are doing decent, though. Still better than Watch What Happens Live. Because Below Deck is along with Housewives, Below Deck is hugely rated on Bravo. Don't sleep on Below Deck and all the spinoffs. They do quite well. Like Below Deck Sailing Yacht, I think they at one point last season got over 1 million viewers. I mean, we can't say the same for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City this season. Tara says, on TikTok, says, isn't Kyle the chief stew? No, Faye is the chief stew. We're talking about Below Deck Adventure, though. We're not talking about Below Deck. Let's move into Below Deck. All right, and again, this week I forgot because I've been busy this morning. I posted a new video talking about Megan Thee Stallion trial and Kelsey Nicole, her former best friend, and how she effed that situation up yesterday. I'm sure she's gonna F it up again today. Watch that video because I took my time this morning to create that video and cover all the details from yesterday's testimony. Homegirl said, "Can I please the fourth?" Please the fourth, Kelsey Nicole said yesterday on the stand in front of people and mixed company. She says she wants to please the fourth. There's a lot of jokes that can be made with that. She meant plead the fifth, okay? Be sure to check out that video if you haven't already. And guys, we will be live tonight, this evening at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. PST, 4:30 p.m. Central for our Real Housewives of Miami recap. Yep, we're doing it today. I'm going to go watch it, and then we're going to recap it this evening. And a lot of you have been asking me to recap Harry and Meghan. Okay. So Harry and Meghan, I might do a separate recap, but I do want to briefly talk about what I've watched so far in the first 3 episodes. The final 3 episodes are now available on Netflix. They're not paying me, but they should. Look, but they should. Okay. Oh, Meghan. So I did already two parts to recap for the first 3 episodes. I will do maybe a separate live recapping it on YouTube, but stay tuned for that. TikTok, per usual, I will do a recap on TikTok talking about these next 3 episodes, the final 3 episodes. Based on what I've seen in synopsis of what comes out, I didn't see anything incredibly new that we didn't know from the Oprah interview, but I'm going to watch it because I did enjoy the first 3 episodes. And again, people's reaction to the Meghan and Harry situation, I'm just so interested. And this is a perfect conversation because, Jen Shaw in the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City brings up her own, suicidal thoughts. I just don't understand how people still feel the way that they do about Meghan. And she literally says the amount of attention that was put on me, the amount of pressure that was put on me, the amount of the lack of support that was given to me from this family, the royal family, put me in the same mental health situation, and they would not even allow me to get help. And we still are defending. I thought mental health mattered. Okay, we'll talk more about that because she talks about that in part 2 of this Harry and Meghan documentary. The Harry and Meghan documentary, ratings-wise, is doing incredible. Incredible. Okay? Hold on. I forgot to pull up my article with the ratings. So let me do that right now. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. We have almost 1,000 people on YouTube alone. We have over 100 people on TikTok and quite a few people watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. We appreciate you all taking a time out of your Thursday afternoon to be with us. Hold on. Let me just pull up the article that I wanted to discuss in regards to this. We talked about the initial ratings. So the initial ratings for the Harry and Meghan documentary was like $2.4 million on the 2.4 million viewers on the first day, which beat out The Crown. The Crown got 1.4 million viewers on the first day. Oof. All right, so let me see if I can pull up the story. If I can find it. Oh, here is it. Oh, yes, here it is. Okay. So people are very much interested in Harry and Meghan. No matter how you feel about this couple, and no matter how, I thought they left for privacy. Their privacy has not changed just because they stepped down as senior royals. Their privacy, even if they were not to do an interview, people would still be obsessed with them. And I know a lot of people are tired of the comparisons between that Harry brings up between Meghan and Princess Diana. But if you remember and you lived in the age of Princess Diana, then you like, yeah, I can see the equivalence, the obsession, because for all for truth. No one's obsessed with Prince William and Kate Middleton specifically. And based on what I'm hearing in part 2 of their documentary, they talk about how some of the royals were not happy with the level of popularity that Harry and Meghan specifically, was getting. Again, I'll have more thoughts on part 2 once I get to watch it. I just saw the synopsis. But let's talk about the ratings for this Netflix documentary. And Bethany, first of all, I barely have time. And this is what I do. I review, I cover pop culture news. This is what I do. I barely have time to sit down. You run a multi-million-dollar business, and I know you have a staff. However, I just don't understand how you have the time and the audacity, the caucasity to... It seems like you also are a little upset and bothered by Meghan for whatever reason, because this is not the first time that she's talked unfavorably about Meghan. And no one's saying that she can't. It's just interesting to me that you, of all people... Oh, Bethany, you're watching? Hey, thanks for watching. And I do find it interesting, the review that she posted on her YouTube channel. It had like when I watched it originally, it had like 60,000 views and no comments. Bethany, are you buying views? Just asking. I don't know. It's just odd to me to have 60, especially when it comes to, and her comments weren't turned off. It's just interesting to me to have that many views, that many likes, and no comments. Just asking. It was just very weird. I refreshed just to say maybe it's an error. Maybe there's comments now because maybe someone caught wind of it. Anyways. So this is coming from our friends over at Just Jared in their report of the Meghan and Harry documentary and their ratings. So they rate this. They said, Harry and Meghan is a Netflix hit. The highly anticipated royal docuseries from Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, debuted earlier this month, and many people tuned in to find out what the couple had to say about their personal lives, as well as their relationship with the royal family. We now know how the docuseries is doing among viewers on the streaming platform, which I appreciate because, there are so many streaming platforms and they don't share their stats. Netflix has recently started sharing their stats in the last couple of years, okay? So they say the first half of Harry and Meghan has been Netflix's biggest documentary debut of all time, according to royal reporter Omid Scobie, who wrote this on Twitter. A rep says it debuted with 81.55 million hours viewed by over 28 million households in 4 days. The highest of any doc in a premiere week. It's currently the number 2 English TV series globally. Let me read that to you again for those that may have missed what I just said about the Harry and Meghan documentary. Okay, so this is the biggest for Netflix right now. Okay, so they said the first half of the Harry and Meghan docuseries has been Netflix's biggest documentary debut of all time. A rep says it debuted with 81.55 million hours viewed by over 28 million households. Okay, households. That's a big thing to mention too, because that doesn't mean individual people that are watching. They're talking about by accounts, because I know a lot of you share your accounts. And Netflix is trying to crack down on that too. I've never shared my Netflix account. But I know some of y'all do. And I get it. It's a recession. Is it? It's currently the number 2 English TV series globally. All right. So congratulations to them. Again, I will probably end up doing a separate live or a separate pre-recorded video reviewing the final part of this documentary. All right. I want to move on because I didn't expect to go there, but I didn't expect to go to that particular place so soon. But I got to go where the transitions allow, right? Let's get back into our reality TV talk. Okay. So Below Deck. So Below Deck season 10. I am so upset by this news. It looks like Captain Lee, by the end of this latest episode of Below Deck, says he's failed the team and he is going to be leaving the boat. But based on what we're hearing, he's done. He's done with Below Deck. He's been with Below Deck since the beginning, right? Yeah, since the beginning, 10 years. And he's struggling. And I loved this episode, and this is why Below Deck season 10 for me is doing quite well and is very interesting. It's engaging. I like the cast. I like the charter guests. These recent charter guests were female doctors, and I love how Captain Lee was celebrating them. You know, they wanted to celebrate him and all that he's doing, and they're like, no, you ladies, you healthcare workers, you doctors are, should be celebrated, and you should be allowed to have this moment of relief and fun after the last 2.5, almost 3 years that you've been dealing with this pandemic. I love that. So I got emotional watching that on Below Deck. Then I got emotional, literally, because Captain Lee doesn't cry. He red around his eyes. Chef Rachel was had the red around her eyes, and he lets us know that he's going to be leaving the ship. Do we know? Because I didn't Google schmoogle, because I like to be in the moment of these episodes. I could Google schmoogle and get the tea. Is Captain Sean coming back? Who's going to be the new captain? Do we know? If we do know and you don't want to know the spoiler, fast forward. I'll give you a heads up. So Captain Lee says he's not going to continue because he struggled this entire episode. He says he can't feel the left side of his body. And he really tried to downplay when talking with the guests. He was just like, it's a nerve issue. It'll be resolved. No, doctor. You need to ask them. They're doctors. Like, well, I've been having this. And he's probably thinking in his head, they're probably tired. They're on the vacation. They don't need to diagnose him. But they might have had some helpful information for him. You have a whole team of doctors sitting in front of you. Because not every doctor's right. This is why they always tell you to get a second opinion. I would have loved to have the panel of ladies. Okay, ladies, what do you think might be going on? Because he's thinking that it's going to resolve itself, and it hasn't. Oh, is Captain Sandy coming to our side? I have not gotten into Below Deck Med, and I know. It's been on my to-do list for quite some time, but I've always heard mixed reactions about Captain Sandy. I remember seeing her at BravoCon behind the scenes. I saw Captain Lee behind the scenes. And Captain Carrie. Captain Carrie was there. Someone said Captain Kate. just said Captain Kate. Well, Kate will not be returning because Kate is pregnant and doing it on her own. Oh, Captain Sandy's messy. Ugh. Either way, we wish you luck, Captain Lee. I thought this was a solid episode. It was an emotional episode. Anyone else? I don't watch Below Deck for when they go off and have their own separate fun time on their day offs. If anything, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm like, oh God, we have a day off. So they're all going to go out and have fun and get drunk. Okay, but sidebar. First of all, Fraser, you're doing a great job. You're giving me sassy. Camille, you are not doing a great job. Alyssa, you're doing a great job as a reality TV star. I also think she's a good stew, but you're doing a great job stirring the pot, kissing and telling and mixing it up and getting on Camille's nerves. Fraser, you could do a better job in regards to having conversations and communications with Camille. But Camille, I just feel like in everything that she does, even when she's a deckhand or when she's a stew, she just is not good. She's not good. But you always need that person on Below Deck that's not good. If everyone was good, what would we be talking about? Fraser revealed in this episode that he hasn't had sex in like 2 years. And he says, because most of the time remember last time we were with Fraser, he was flirting and kissing on that deckhand. So yeah, they never went all the way because I don't think the deckhand really wanted to do that. I think he just was like one of those people that like to kiss everybody. And what's his name? The bosun was like, oh, I was a part of this group this polygamous group talking about, and he talked all about like one minute you hook up with this one, and the next minute someone's like, you want to, and he hooked up. I was like, what? I was like, I did not expect that. Where did that come from? But I appreciate it for Below Deck because those are the moments that we really appreciate. Like, really? A polygamous? I mean, I know they exist, but I was like, wow. He was like, a couple of weeks without sex is a dry spell for me. And Frasier's like, I haven't had sex in like 2 years. Oh. Sorry, Frasier. Sorry. But I like him as I like him as the Chief Stew. I think he's funny. I think he's good at his job. It will be interesting to see this new dynamic because Frasier had history with Captain Lee. But now with the new captain coming on, that's going to be something very different. And if it is Captain Sandy, it will be my first time really seeing her. So it probably is a good thing that I haven't watched Below Deck Med yet because I will sort of look at her with fresh eyes. Even though I've heard things, I'm going to look at her with fresh eyes. Maybe. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Thirsty Thursday. We're live on TikTok behind the scenes. We're also live on Twitch and Twitter. Apparently, we get quality. If you're watching me on television, you want to watch me on your television and you want quality, apparently the Twitch app is really good. Like the quality, because I'm streaming in 4K. If you really want top-notch quality, it's even better than YouTube, they say. And I'm streaming there too. So for those of you who are watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, if you want top, they say Twitch. Everyone tells me it's like a whole other experience. Thirsty Thursdays is where we talk about a variety of reality TV news, TikTok. I know we have a video on TikTok right now in regards to the Twitch situation that has gone viral. So there's a lot of reaction to the latest update on that story. So be sure to check that out. And be sure to follow me on TikTok if you haven't already. There is content that I post there that I don't post anywhere else at TheKempire on TikTok, and also at TheKempire on Twitter, because I am doing live reactions to certain shows that maybe I will or will not recap here. So last night the last couple of nights I've been watching RHOSLC on Prime because you guys have been asking me to watch this show, and I am in love. Look. I am. First off, before we even get into the show, Prime, because I never watch Prime. It comes along with your Amazon Prime membership, but I never watch it. Only time I've watched it is when you guys point out, oh, there's a great show on there. Then I end up watching it. When we were watching Harlem and recapping Harlem. So, oh, wait a second. Diana says, thank you, Diana, for being a member for 10 months. She says, Bethany dated Megan's ex-husband, Trevor Engelson. Oh, Lord. Is that what it is? Is Bethany one of those people? Feels like it should have been her. Oh, Bethany. Back to this. Amazon Prime. Before we get into the riches, Amazon, you got a problem. One thing I noticed about the app, even with this recent update, every once in a while when I'm watching an episode, all of a sudden it will go black. And then I'm like, I got to restart the app. Anyone else have that problem? I'm just like, why is it doing this? I don't watch this app enough for you to be having these little glitches. I don't have those issues with Netflix. I don't have those issues with Hulu. I don't have those issues with HBO Max. Just asking. So for those of you that are wondering what exactly is RHOSLC, I'm sure you probably have heard about it. Some of you have watched it already. It's only 6 episodes, and it's a UK, it's a British show. However, it's not even released in the UK yet. Shout out to our UK followers. I didn't know. When I Google schmoogled, just so I can have an idea of, what is the description of RHOSLC, and I said, wait a minute. It's not getting released in the UK until December 22nd, 2022. But a lot of you were hitting me up on Twitter and saying, well, yeah, it usually happens like that, unfortunately. And I was like, I thought that you guys would get it before we did. But it's an excellent show about this Black family that, first of all, okay, how do I break this down? Look, how do I break this down? So it's this Black family that is connected the father owns this, hair care business that's $1 million business, but he also has these two older children that he did not, he helped raise for a little bit and then basically left the mother to fend for herself. So we thought. At least the first 10 years, we find out by the end. So we have this incredible actress who's playing Nina Richards, and she's already doing quite well for herself here in the States. She's doing very well for herself here in the States. We see her in the very beginning of this episode, and she's being catapulted to the top of this company. And we find out later she's really just trying to prove herself to her father. Well, the father, had his secrets. But those secrets end up being revealed after he dies suddenly. All right? Apparently, there's money missing within the company. His wife, okay, first of all, Claudia. We've seen Claudia before, haven't we? I don't know where I've seen Claudia before, but I don't remember. Her face is so familiar to me. Sarah Niles. She for me is a star. She is the villain. I mean, in the beginning, she's the villain. Okay. Well, she was married. Basically, Nina's mom was left for Claudia. Claudia has a side boo, Andre, who's the CFO of this hair care company that the family has. But there's a lot of secrets. Okay? One of those secrets is that Wanda, who is like a grown child. I don't know. Anyone else get that energy from her? But maybe that's just really great acting because she's supposed to be sort of like, I guess is she the youngest? I don't think she's the youngest. But she's also not, she's not the father's daughter. And he knew that. And he was making moves to adopt her. All kinds of stuff. So the top of these episodes, I should say, because there are 6 episodes, and I'm just recapping, I'm just giving you an overview of all the episodes of Riches on Prime. So before the father dies, he makes a call to Nina, and she's like, "Why are you calling me?" Because they don't have a relationship. And it looks like he was trying to communicate with her. He knew maybe he was dying. Come to find out, they decide they're going to go to the funeral, her and her brother. Okay? So there's a separation. There's Claudia's children that she had with her father, and then there's also Nina and her brother that he had with another woman, their mom. So they decide to go to the funeral. Claudia, because she's perfect villain in this story, changes the time of the funeral so they miss the funeral. But when you go to the will reading, of course, a will reading in these types of series is going to be shocking. He leaves all of his shares to Nina and her brother. And Claudia's like, what? And sidebar, the other family members that can't stand Claudia, that aren't Claudia's children, that came up in the Nigerian traditional outfit, I was like, they had me cracking up when they found out that Claudia was not getting anything. Their reaction was hilarious because they couldn't stand her because she basically came into this whole situation out for herself, had a side baby, and was cheating on this man. Let me take a sip. Guys, if you're just joining us, be sure to like the video. This is our Thirsty Thursday, and I'm a little thirsty. We're talking about Riches on Prime. So, of course, once Nina, who originally was like, I'm not going to take this business. I don't want this business. I'll write it off to you guys. But then she changes her mind. She changes her mind because it's like, wow, he left this to me. He left this to me for a reason. So she decides to stay on and be the CEO. So that leads to all kinds of other drama within the family. No one can trust people. At one point, people are starting to gravitate towards Nina, and they're like, okay, maybe she knows what she's doing. Maybe and then it turns on her. They try to sell off this business because they find out that someone's been stealing money. And at first we think maybe it's Claudia, maybe it was the father, or maybe it's the CFO. Come to find out, it was Gideon. Gideon is that man. What was the name of that series? You guys will remind me in the chat. What was the series? I can't think of the series, the British series that was very popular here. Very popular here as well. And so and I used to watch it on Prime. You guys will remind me in the chat. Vicky says, did you say spoiler alert? If you're here and we're recapping Riches on Prime, then you already knew I was going to talk about the episodes. Just saying. Just saying. Do I need to say spoiler alert if I'm talking about the episodes? Maybe I do. Okay. Spoiler alert. Because I haven't gotten to the end. I don't even care about spoiler alerts, but some people do. I could care less. I'm still going to watch it. I want to see how they get to this place. So they end up they end up voting against Nina because Nina's like, I don't want to sell this company to this larger company. So they end up voting against her. Her own mother, Nina's mother, the other woman, votes against her. And woo to Wanda. Wanda's white boyfriend. I knew I couldn't trust him. I just could tell the way he was moving in these episodes. I was like, oh, something about that one. He basically was leaking information to the press because during, I forgot what episode it was. It may have been 4 or 5. There's a whole expose on Nina and what's going on within the company about there being a laundering of money. You know, Nina's not doing what she needs to do. So we're like, what? Wanda finds out, though. Wanda finds out that her boyfriend was just using her and leaking information for money. But she gets him together real quick. She has security and all, escort him out her apartment. But she doesn't know that she's adopted. I'm whispering like she still doesn't know. Well, by the end of the season, she doesn't know. But more of the families find out. First of all, Nina found out first that Wanda was not her father's child. So she doesn't have any sort of inheritance to the family or the wealth. And Claudia, I guess Claudia didn't know because she had to be shown the DNA test. No, she did know because he tried to adopt her. Oh, no, maybe he tried to adopt her behind her back. I can't remember every detail, y'all. Elephant brain's not kicking in. But I don't think she fully knew. But the father knew because he did a DNA test. But he still loved Wanda and wanted to adopt her. But he couldn't because of UK laws. The show is good, y'all. The show is good. And that secretary, we knew that the secretary knew more. I wasn't sure if the secretary was the one laundering money, but you know the secretary, the administrative staff, the people, you know, behind the scenes usually know all the tea. Those are the people that reach out to blogs and media and spill all the tea. So you knew that secretary knew something. But we didn't expect at the end, or maybe you did expect at the end. Okay, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. That she had a baby by him. The secretary had a baby by the man. And at the end, we see Finn. So, you know, first, when I think of Finn, I think of, I forgot what language it is, but it means like final. But also, if you Google Finn, in other terminology, it means fair. So in my head, I'm like, the poeticness of the situation of his name being Finn, the final, and fair, like fair game, like the balance. The secretary had a baby by the man. So they discovered, this is how we find out, because Nina already knew. Well, she didn't know about who the baby was, but she finds out there is another heir because the information says that there were 6, but she was like, there's only 5 of us. So who's this other baby? And then we wonder why the secretary got £1 million in the will. It wasn't because she was, great at secretarying. It's because she's the mother of his youngest child. Okay. Sincerely, hey, Shelly. She says, Mama Claudia knew. She was just hoping no one would find out. I don't know. I'm a little on the fence about that. I think remember she says in one, I forgot what episode 5, she's like, but it was one time. You trifling. But it was one time with that particular man. With Andre, it was multiple times. When this poor man dies and they're trying to reach her, she's laid up in the bed with Andre. I thought Riches on Prime was excellent. You guys were right. Don't forget, a season 2 of Harlem is coming. We recapped Harlem. If you missed our recaps of Harlem, be sure to check that out on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. I really enjoyed Harlem. For me, it was sort of like this, not Sex in the City, but almost like Sex in the City, but black. And I loved it. I think they did a good job on it. For the love of Jasmine, gotta get that Jamaican accent together for the new season, please. Just saying. Okay. All right. I'm not even reading my notes, y'all. I'm just going with it. I'm just going with everything that I wanted to talk about. We talked about Below Deck. We talked about Below Deck Adventure. We talked about Riches on Prime. I did not get a chance to watch Love Without Borders, which is another Bravo show, but I will talk about it more on Tuesday Takeover when we talk about all the other shows that we talk about on Tuesday Takeover, like 90 Day Fiance, 90 Day The Single Life, and things like that. Well, 90 Day Single Life is over. Okay. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Oh, Lord. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I wish I could say I left the best for last, but yeah. Oh, wait a second. Nisa says, it was the same exact plot as Run the World, but I didn't mind. Exactly, Nisa. I feel the same way. The plot for Riches is not unique. We've seen so many other stories other than that show play this out, but they did a good job. They did a good job acting. They did a good job writing it. It kept us engaged, and they didn't make it drag out for 20 episodes like The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Live chat, replay crew, how would you rate the episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Here's the thing. When I was preparing for this live and I was watching this episode of Salt Lake City, which for me, how would you rate this episode, y'all? Between 1 and 10. I probably would rate this episode a 5. And I think I'm being generous with a 5. It wasn't a good episode. It wasn't a fun episode. I don't know if producers believe just because we see naked women running around, being drunk and acting silly is something that's still entertaining to us almost 20 years later on this franchise. It's not. Especially when there's nothing else happening. And these fake battles between Whitney and Heather, okay, I'm going to call them fake. I believe that it might be a real battle. It's just not interesting. It's not engaging. Jen Shaw, okay, I'm going to bring up the most important things that came out in this episode. Jen Shaw, as you know, had a battle with Heather Gay on last week's episode. This week, they're apologizing. They're trying to work through these things. And Jen Shaw drops a bomb that she tried to take her own life when the whole Shaw Exposed came out. So, again, Jen knows what she's doing. Do I believe that possibly this could happen? It's possible. With everything that she's dealing with, the stress of what she's dealing with, very possible. But Jen Shaw's, credibility, it's hard. It's hard to believe you, especially when you bring it up in these particular moments. It's sort of like, oh, we can't say anything now. We can't say anything now. You can't argue with her right now. Okay, I'm not going to even argue with you here. Heather even says, it's like, oh, here she goes dropping this bomb. Now, what are we supposed to say in this moment? Nothing. And she knows that. Jen. Mauricio says, Jen was pathetic. I don't believe a word that came out of her mouth. And look, she is a convicted liar. She is very good at manipulating people. And like I said to you before, because of what she's bringing up, she knows that people, the cast, she knows when we talk about it, what are we going to say? No, you're lying. Well, okay, someone just said called her a liar, but you know what I mean. She knows that it's hard to call her out on that one because it's just like, oh damn, really. But I honestly, based off her history, I think even if it's true, she decided to bring it up because she knew what she was doing in that moment. She knew that the ladies could not argue with her anymore. So even if it was true, I believe she just decided, she held that in her pocket and she's like, bum. What makes me believe her less is when Whitney, asked, what happened during the lunch and things like that. And her smirk on her face when she said, oh, do you really want to know? Do you really want to know? And then she says it. Jen has never really been believable when she, especially this last season, where every time she starts breaking into tears and making about what she's dealing with, I'm just like, I believe that she's dealing with a lot and I believe that it's stressful. I just don't believe in those moments when she's bringing it up that that's what is causing her bad behavior, because we've watched the first 2 seasons and that bad behavior has existed since season 1. And I'm sure it's existed outside of the show. It has. We've seen video footage multiple times. Okay. Mocha says, I'm way past being over Salt Lake City. Here's the thing. I'm not one of those people that feels that Salt Lake City needs to be canceled, but they definitely need to shuffle the cast for next season. Because when Salt Lake City first was announced, and I believe it was announced at BravoCon. Yeah, it was announced at BravoCon. When it was announced, I think all of us were like, Salt Lake City? But I have to say, those first 2 seasons were solid. Were they perfect? No. Was season 2 too long? Yes. However, I was like, wow, I never thought about Salt Lake City in this way, but seeing it, I was like, this is good. But season 3 has been a big... And then they were talking about not having Jen Shaw at the reunion that's filming today or tomorrow. I think today. I think it's today, right? Or tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Because today was supposed to be Jen Shaw's sentencing. But they pushed that back to January 6th, of all days. I'm not sure if that's going to be a lucky day for you, though, Jen. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. Let me say thank you. We got quite a few super chats. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to everyone that sends in super chats, Venmos, Cash Apps, PayPals. Those of you that have joined our Patreon or are part of any way that you support the show by watching, sharing, and telling your family and friends about what we're doing here. The road to 250,000 is right around the corner here on YouTube. We have over 277 followers on TikTok. Be sure to follow me on TikTok as well. We just had a separate live talking about the Meghan and Harry documentary just this week. So you just don't know what you're missing out on. And turn those notifications on. All right, let me say thank you. Tina, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate you supporting the channel. Julie, thank you so much for another super chat. Julie says, I can't even with Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Jen Shaw should be spending time with family. She was brutal with her antics, and I rated it a 5. Jen feeling suicidal, not dismissing, but come on. Attorneys are probably like, I can't with her. Julie, thank you so much for another super chat. Julie says, only Below Deck I was watching was because of Captain Lee, but good for him. I don't watch any of that franchise. It's too produced, in my opinion. I feel like it's getting to that place. I don't feel like it was always like that. Hold on, y'all. Let me just save this. Okay. Guys, we have over 1,100 people on YouTube watching. Be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels that talk about similar topics. Those of you that are on TikTok, keep tapping your screens. Thank you so much for the follows, the gifts, and all of that. We appreciate it. Also, let me say thank you. DV, thank you so much for the super chat. DV says, hi, Kempire. Just sending a little love. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you, DV. We appreciate the love. I will take that love. Thank you. Take it and eat it. Miss Pink and Black, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Pink and Black says, first live. Hey, love. Hey. I love it when it's your first live. Okay. Kia, and for those that are new to our Thirsty Thursday, very much like our Tuesday takeover, it's a mashup of shows that we talk about, news, pop culture news, reality TV news, all of those things. Kia, thank you so much for the super chat. Kia says, which show is better, Riches or Have Nots? I can't tell you that because I've never watched Have or Have Nots. No. I've never watched it. It just seemed a little... Look, I'm not a big fan of all of Tyler Perry's stuff, and it kind of gave me Tyler Perry's worst. But a lot of you loved it. It was on for a while on the OWN network. I just never gravitated towards it. You guys in the live chat replay crew, do you think Riches was better than Have or Have Not, or vice versa? You'll let me know. Let me see. Oh, Isabella wants to know. Isabella, I got to see your comment. She says, can anyone reply, what happened to Jen Shaw's sentencing happening December 12th? I believe it was supposed to happen on December 15th, Meredith's birthday, but they requested for it to be pushed back. They had their reasons. And now it's been pushed back to January 6th. I'm not sure if that's changed yet. All right. Thirsty Thursday. Let me take a sip, y'all. Oh, okay. Wait, before I do that, let me just drop the call-in link for our senior royals. If you're a senior royal of the channel, again, guys, if you would like to become a member of the channel, you don't have to, but we appreciate the monthly support. I'm going to post the call-in link if you want to share your thoughts on any of what we've discussed this evening and this afternoon, I should say, and this morning, depending on where you're watching from. Let me just post this here. And if we can let's get to 600 likes, and I'll drop the call link in the general live chat. All right. Yeah, today was the day. Today was the day that we were supposed to be finding out if Jen Shaw, how long Jen Shaw was going to prison for. Not if. No, she's definitely going to prison. We just were going to find out how long. All right. So I'm dropping the for our senior royals, I've dropped it on the community tab on YouTube. And if you're a Royal Court member, I'm going to drop the link there as well in just a second. Tina, thank you so much for the super chat. Tina says, when I heard about Twitch, it was heartbreaking. One never knows what the next person is going through. Showing joy and happiness doesn't mean that they aren't suffering in silence. Rest in peace. And according to his wife, she was also saying that she didn't see any signs of this. She said he just left the house and then cut off all communication with her. This is all coming from TMZ's report this morning. Again, you just never know, and we may never know. And no word on a note or anything like that. You just never know. You just never know. But we're definitely wishing love and support to Allison and those babies and the rest of his friends and family that are affected by this. Thank you again for the super chat. All right. Back to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about in regards to this episode, again, if you're a member of the channel, I see a couple people already backstage. I've posted the call-in link on the community tab. Once we get to 600 likes on our live chat on YouTube, I'll post the call-in link there. So the two big parts that stood out to me in this episode, so Heather and Lisa are trying to figure out their friendship with Jen. Jen and Angie K have made up, but if you've seen any updates, Angie K and Jen are not in a good place right now. So they made up for the time being, but they do end up falling out again. I know I was listening to Bitch Sesh, a podcast that talks about the Housewives, and they were reading a blind item or some sort of tea in regards to Angie K, being upset with production because she believed that they were going to cover, her costs and her rented looks and things like that. I don't believe that, because in that tea, they said that they canceled her contract. If they canceled her contract, she wouldn't be on the after show, and then she won't be at the reunion. I don't believe that. I don't believe that T. I really don't. I do believe maybe she thought that they were going to pay for it and then they didn't. Who knows? Do I believe that Angie K was desperate to be on this show? Yeah, it's giving a little desperate. But I have to say, those last couple of episodes, she made those last couple of episodes entertaining for me. But her and Jen make up in this episode. We'll see how long that lasts. Jen was like, I'm so sorry. You know, I was just playing. Before she does something again. And for those of you that follow me on TikTok, normally I recap the Real Housewives in under a minute, but I haven't done one for Salt Lake City because Salt Lake City for me this season has not been enough for me to even want to recap on there. That's why Thirsty Thursdays was created, because this is a mess. This is a mess. Until we get another show for the love of Real Housewives of New Jersey. I hear we're supposed to be getting a trailer very soon for the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I'm actually looking forward to New Jersey. And I'm also looking forward to the Gorgas exiting. Anyone else? And I'm not even Team Teresa like that. Y'all know, if you followed me for a while now, I'm not team anyone. I'm Team Kempire all day, every day. All day, every day. But I'm kind of over the Gorgas because it's even more transparent to me now that they're just, this is all they have. This is all that they have. And it's like, wow, what happened to everything that you were doing? What happened to Envy? What happened to your construction? What happened to you stealing before and after pictures and posting them on Instagram? I don't even have to say allegedly because that was proven. Thank you, Chelsea. Chelsea says 47 people click this. Wait, hold on. Chelsea says 47 people click out this chat and hit like. It takes 2 seconds. Thank you, Chelsea. Appreciate that. Yeah, guys. And for those of you that have YouTube channels and you do similar work, when you like my video, it will help your channel. Just saying. It's the truth. All right. So we have that moment where Jen talks about she had thoughts of taking her life, and then she ends up spending time in a facility, a hospital, for 2 days. Okay? The other argument that happens in this episode, I don't know about you guys, there have been so many different arguments this season on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and none of them make sense. None of them make sense. I'm still trying to understand the beef between Whitney and Heather. I feel like they both have valid points, but I also feel like they both are the problem. Anyone else? Is that just me twerking on the fence? Maybe. But I really feel like, okay, I can see where you're coming from, Whitney. But at the same time, I can see where you're coming from, Heather. But I also see how Heather has not, we're starting to see your slip, Heather. We're starting to see your slip. And I am tired of this whole trying to build up the whole, how did Heather get the black eye and the scratches? That's not a cliffhanger. We don't care unless one of those ladies punched her in the eye. I'm just...
That's really upsetting to me, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't say that.
Sorry. You know, it's been a while since we played the other one.
Go. Meredith can go f*** herself. I'm done with her. Because I'm not a f***ing whore and I don't cheat on my husband. Her and a dumb f***ing family that poses. Why don't you own a house? Wait, you can't. Because your husband changes jobs every 5 minutes? Fake Meredith is a piece of I have your back and I'm offended by that. You, that f***ing piece of garbage whore. I f***ing hate her. She's a whore. She's half of New York. She can go f*** herself.
We haven't played in a while. I mean, I feel like that was more interesting than what we're getting so far this season. And definitely in this last episode. Literally right before this, I was like, okay, let me make sure I watch this episode because I was busy this morning and I was trying to finish up Riches. Then I had to do the Meghan Thee Stallion story. And then I was like, oh, wait, I have to make sure I watch the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City before this live so we can talk about it. Some of you were hitting me up and saying, you don't have to talk about it. Okay. All right, let me drop the caller link. Oh, in my opinion, is backstage, so we're going to bring her up in a second. Hold on. All right. Because we reached over 600 likes. Thank you guys so much for liking the video. The entire cast of Salt Lake City just disliked the video. It's okay, guys. Disliking the video helps the channel too. All right. Happy holidays, guys. If you couldn't tell, tis the season. Tis the season here on the channel. We have been celebrating all month long. We're going to continue to celebrate all month long, but you gotta be here during our live recaps. However, the other day we did give away something for our replay crew. So stay tuned for more giveaways. No, that wasn't a segue for a giveaway. Just saying. Excuse me. All right, let me turn on the fan because now it's getting hot in here. Let's bring up, in my opinion, hold on, in my opinion, what's going on?
Happy holidays, Kempire.
You
How are you?
too. How are you guys spending the holidays over there in Alabama?
It's cold.
Wow, I never really thought about that. It gets really cold in Alabama. Do you guys get snow too?
We get our snow in March and April.
Oh, okay. All right. What's
So,
cold?
let
Wait.
me-
What's cold?
Right now it's 37.
Oh, no, it's cold. Okay. Thoughts?
Okay, so let me just say, as a person that has dealt with mental health issues and depression and stuff like that, I really hate it when people get on TV and throw it up, because if she had suffered with that, she wouldn't have said it the way she said it. Like, when you are at that level that you're thinking about committing suicide, you're at your lowest point.
Yeah.
And most people real people that are trying to commit suicide tend to try to hide it from people that they love.
Yeah.
They don't run to people and say, hey, I'm suicidal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't speak that out because you don't want somebody to save you. Like, you actually feel like, hey, this is over. I'm going to end my life. And they tend to run away from you. Like, when I heard the Twitch story, I was like, I understood it because I was once that person. You know what I'm saying? And it took me to get the counseling and the help that I needed to get myself, and the right medication to get myself to the point where I wasn't depressed and wanted, to end it all.
Yeah.
But the way she said it felt like it was just for sympathy. And I don't feel sorry for you because you brought this on yourself. It wasn't nobody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You come.
Uh-oh. We lost you, in my opinion. Did she get a phone call? In my opinion. Testing. In my opinion,
You
call.
stop.
Oh, there we go. I lost you for a second there.
Like, if we're gonna be serious about it, like, I feel like it's a slap in the face to all those people money that she took to have her on this show, playing in our face. Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like that is just ridiculous to have her playing in our face and everybody's kissing her behind.
Yeah.
You
I
know
don't
what I'm saying?
like that. I don't
Why
like
are
that.
why are we all apologizing and trying to kiss her, but when she did this to other people?
Well, technically, I mean, in all fairness, at this point, what we're watching, she's still claiming her innocence.
Well, even if she's still claiming her innocence, baby, everybody already knew before then. Like, they all knew. Like, come on now. You can't be in no federal case off of nothing. So at best, even if they didn't know for sure, like, even when we was at this point, we was like, hey, well, there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, the state ain't just gonna bring no case against you. The government ain't gonna bring no case. Not that kind of case, but they've been doing it for years for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, those prosecutors, they spent a lot of hours and then everybody turning and flipping, and you know what I'm saying? Like, they getting immunity deals and stuff. So yeah, no. At this point, it was enough smoke to know that it was, hey, something's going on. She ain't clean. Her hands ain't clean. Like, they may not know for sure, but they got some suspicions that she was behind it. Her hands was in it.
Yeah, she was the last one to turn.
And then, let me tell you something. I knew you remember when she was in season 1 and they kept asking her how she got all this money, and she just kept saying, oh, I do this and I do this. And I was like, yeah, but you're not telling us what your job is. Like, people that got a real job that's bringing in that kind of money, they can tell you how they got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can tell you what job they pulling them kind of money in.
Yeah.
She ain't never had it. And let me tell you something. Angie can go to, because she playing in your face too. Because
Angie
let me tell you something. Yes, because she said she was finna throw her a housewarming party. So that was the reason why she wanted to throw Jen's husband party.
Yes.
Because she was also trying to throw a housewarming party. So if it was your housewarming party, why should she have? If anything, y'all should go half on it then. Because you the one suggested, I need a housewarming party, so I'm just going to invite the whole cast. She just wanted to be on TV.
Yeah. I kind of get that feeling.
But you have a good day, Kempire. You know, I'm so tired of these folks. And let me tell you something. First of all, if anybody ever, let me tell you something. First of all, I'd be in jail if I was held up, okay? Because if anybody came to my room at 4 something in the morning and clocked me and had scratches all over me, I'd be in jail. But I'd be getting out now. It'd be self-defense. Them Bravo cameras rolling like that. I don't know what they trying to say, but let me tell you something. Somebody come in my room and get me out of my room, out of my bed, and all of a sudden I got black eye scratches. You ain't gonna want to see the next person that's sitting there with you. You have a good one, Kim.
You too. Bye. Oh my gosh. I just feel like, I don't know about anyone else. I felt from the very beginning that whole black eye and scratches story is not what we think it is. I don't think anyone did it. But we shall see what exactly it is. It's not enough of a cliffhanger based off of this season to get me interested. Okay? But you know what I am interested in because it is Thirsty Thursday? A coldest water bottle. Shout out to everyone that last week and this week won a coldest water bottle. You know, they've been a proud sponsor of the channel for over a year now, maybe almost 2 years now. Be sure to head on over to coldest.com, but don't forget to use discount code KEMP10 for 10% off of your order. All right? They don't just have water bottles though, y'all. Wait, first of all. They have sheets. They have things for your pets. It's the holiday season, and you still have enough time to get something for your friends and family right now. But don't forget to use the discount code KEMP10. And thanks in advance for supporting our channel because we do get a little bit of something when you make a purchase with that discount code. So thank you. All right. Okay. Oh, Deborah says it looks like an allergic reaction. That looks like a bruise, Deborah. What about the scratches, Deborah? What about the scratches? Oh, my goodness. Shan, thank you so much for the super chat. Hold on. Shan says, I've been in and out. Hey, Kempire, did we not get any Christmas merch? No. And I was talking about this on my TikTok. I was working on Christmas because you know I'm doing all the things myself as the team gets it together. I was working on Christmas merch, and I didn't like what I got from it. I didn't love the company that I've been working with. I mean, there's certain like this that I got from Teespring. I like it's good quality. I like what we came up with for this season. What I was working on, I didn't love it. So till next time, we'll do some Christmas merch. But stay tuned. Okay. All right. Again, it's also the holidays. You guys you have other things that you need to buy. I don't want to press you guys for that. But thanks, Shan, for bringing it up so I can mention it because I forgot to mention it. Shan, thank you for another super chat. She says, as a mental health provider, I do feel she was telling the truth about her situation, but I did not like the way she threw it out there. So they could stop piling on her. She axed Brady. I agree. As I said before, I feel like there is truth in what she was saying, but I felt it was the sort of like she was holding it in her back pocket. You know what I mean? And it wouldn't be surprising, especially with someone like Jen Shaw. Okay?
I'm innocent!
Oh, sorry. Okay. All right, let's get to some of these calls, guys, and then I'm getting out of here. Because it's lunchtime, and this shake is just not enough. All right, Chelsea, I'm going to bring you up next. Hold on. What's going on, Chelsea?
I'm dead that you just played that I'm innocent. I'm really over here cracking up. But hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, working. So I have an unpopular opinion.
That's okay.
But I just got to say it. Jen is lying.
How's that an unpopular opinion?
Because I feel like everybody's like, oh, her mental health.
Oh.
Yes, mental health is serious. Yes, it's serious. Jen, I'm sure, since she is definitely going to prison and got caught, you know, she has symptoms of being a narcissist. She got caught. I'm sure that's really hard for her. And I'm sure at some point in this whole process, she has probably been suicidal at some point or had suicidal thoughts. Mm-hmm. Angie's husband's post is not what prompted that. That's the part where I feel like she is lying. She's trying to throw it out there like this specific one thing caused me to want to commit suicide.
No.
I just do not believe that that's true at all. And I'm like, I know that you just read a comment from somebody who's a mental health provider, and I hate to have to go against them, but I'm going to go back in the comments. But just the person who said that, can you tell me if you think that it is true that she like did that because of Angie, or do you think it's just true in general? Because I just don't believe it. Whenever something was going wrong with Lisa before the season came on, she said, "Oh, Lisa called my son the N-word." She always just likes to throw out things that you cannot come back from, that you can't be like, you can't call her on it because it's race. And you can't be like, you're lying about race. You can't say that as a white person to somebody, to a person of color.
Yeah.
She wants to throw this out here because it's like, you can't say, oh, well, you didn't try to commit suicide. She's manipulative, guys. I always have to remind you whenever I call in. She is a committed felon for fraud. She's a fraudster. She can lie. She can manipulate situations because it's what she does.
I'm innocent!
But it's true. Like, this is her personality. So I just had to say that I feel like it's the elephant in the room. I'm stuttering. I listened to Watch What Crappens, and like they were kind of like tiptoeing around it. And I was like, guys, just say it. Like, nobody wants to say it, so I'm gonna say it. I don't think Jen's telling the truth. I think that she just threw it out there to get everybody shut up. And I don't think that that's right. I don't think she should be at the reunion, because it's just going to be more of this circling around of her throwing out things that you can't come back from, and nothing's actually going to get answered or solved, because it's going to be like, well, what do we do now? Like, we can't keep going at her. It's going to be nothing. So do you know she'll be there? Do you have any
word on the
inside
street? The
news?
last I heard that she is going to be there.
Oh my gosh. See, she just gets her way all the time. She always gets her way. But thank you so much. I hope that you have a great lunch.
You too, Chelsea. Thank you so much. Bye. Look, everyone has a right to their opinion, but I think we all have in our heads, like, and she's right. I feel like we see a pattern of behavior with Jen. She does this all the time. We were just talking about how she called that black content creator Oreo. I feel like 1 minute you're trying to represent for people of color, then the next minute you're trying to drag a person of color. But I've already told you, like, very convenient when she wants to bring up, being a person of color. Just saying. All right, let me get to some more callers. Tia, I'm gonna bring you up next. What's going on, Tia? Is it Tia Mowry?
How are you? I love you so much.
Thank you. What's going on?
Okay, so you can hear me clearly?
Yes.
Awesome. So I love Riches. For everybody that has not seen it, you got to watch it. I couldn't go to sleep. I watched all 6. I binged.
Wow.
I could not go to sleep. I think it was like, Friday night or Saturday night?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I watched the whole thing. It's so good. But I want to say what has to be said as far as Salt Lake. It has to end. This has to be the last season. And
The last season? Why the last season?
No, I think so. I don't even see nothing else for this show anymore, especially if this is her last season. I thought that's what I heard Andy say.
Yeah.
Now, she lied, so I don't want no more dealings with her. And let's be honest, we might not like the brat, but without her, I do not think this show has a leg to stand on. I can't even lie. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think that. Now, as far as, now y'all gonna make me go watch it, because I was not even trying to watch this season. Oh, I'm just so serious. I ended the last season. It was over for me for Salt Lake. And she never has admitted to what she did. She's never said what she did financially. She's never. And I did watch the first 2 seasons because I did like Mary's eyes. I used to watch for Mary's eyes, but plus because I'm a pastor, as well. So I wanted to see that blend, because everybody's been trying to get me in this reality world for a minute. I'm like, they've all been trying. So I'm like, let me see how this looks.
Any shows that we might know?
I haven't been, no, years ago I was on Jenny Jones. Years ago I was the original Bad Girls. I used to be on there a lot. I've been on Jenny Jones at least 4 times. I know me and my sister's been on it like twice. We were the original Bad Girls. I'm 47 now, so this back in the day.
I remember Jenny Jones. Now I'm just like, ooh,
baby. Oh no, yeah, I done had some wild ones. I done did a Geek the Chic.
You remember now when she used to do pastor?
Yes, I am now. I'm a redeemed thug. Yes, I'm redeemed. Amen. I'm from Baltimore. Everybody that can probably hear my accent, but. But we love our entertainment side too. So I love my shows.
Yeah.
Like Rich's. I really like when it comes to reality shows, I'm still stuck on Potomac because I'm from Baltimore area. Of course, I know Jamal, personally. I know these folks. So I've grew up in Baltimore. Like I said, I'm 47 years old.
Wait. Thoughts on Jamal? Pastor Jamal?
Oh no, I know him. No, he's cool though. I like Jamal is special, but when you from Baltimore, we all a little special. Baltimore got land paint, baby. We all a little, we a little special.
Right
We a little special, but no, I love Potomac still. Love Dr. Wendy. I've never met any of them. I know my son just ran into Giselle at the Hampton homecoming. He ran into her and he took a picture with her and everything. And he sent it to me and I was like, ew. He said, I didn't expect. He said, I didn't know you didn't like her. I said, no. I do not. I'm supposed to be going on Mim's page. Me and him supposed to talk about my colorism situation with, I don't know if I can say her name on the show, Wendy Williams, but I had a serious colorism situation with her 3 times. So, you know what I mean? So I know, so I wanted to release that on somebody's page that really, because let me tell you something. Suppression causes depression. Suppression causes depression. When you're suppressed in who you really want to be, yes, I love the Lord. Yes, I lead people to Christ. Yes, I'm a pastor, but I'm a street pastor. My folk is in the street. They're not in the church. And so I do understand a lot of what Jamal was saying as far as what he wanted to do was just some parts that, other people don't understand that there's land on other parts of that property. It's not just on the church grounds. There's other property that ministry owns that would be smart for agriculture and cultivating and farming. So that's a whole nother, story. I said I am going to do a video about it because people are just leaning to the religious response in that matter. But to go back to this Jen Shaw, she, this suicide situation, I've tried to take my own life, so you don't just play with that. I do mention it on Mary J. Blige's documentary. So if anybody, I'm in her documentary. If you want to go to Amazon Prime.
I already watched it. Now I need to go back and watch.
Oh, you got to go back and see it. So you'll see, because my son laughed. He said when he saw it, he said, so you just act the same with everybody. It don't matter who it is, huh? He said, you just going to be you wherever. Yes, I am. So, I do mention that because God used her to save my life, and I've manifested to be able to tell her. I will post it in every comment, every post I would just put, and I can't wait to the day I tell you in person how God used you to save my life. And the story is crazy. So I only tell, a little bit in her documentary, but, I will be sharing it one day, the full story. But yeah, she definitely, the angels definitely used Mary J. Blige. It was crazy, and I wanted her to know that. And I did not know at that time she needed to hear that. She was at a time where she needed to hear that. And you guys see what we just went through yesterday with our brother. I am Twitch. I am the light in every room, and I've suffered. And so we have to come off of social media, but even before social media, just the bullying, the non-support, it's just a lot that plays in the part of someone that don't want to be here anymore. It's a lot that plays that part. So I do want to pray for everybody that, has ever thought about that. If Jen Shaw is playing about that, I'm going to watch that episode now. And if I feel like she playing with it, I'm doing a video about it and calling her all the way out. I'm not playing because you don't play like that. I almost lost my daughter this year, 25 years old. That's why the Shanquella Robinson story was so, hit me so hard. My daughter's 25 years old.
Wow.
My daughter was not here this year. Wow. I went through this. I almost lost her to mental health. It's not a game. If that lady playing, you're going to see a video from me.
All right, Tia. We appreciate you calling in. You took us through all the I was like, wow. All right.
Okay, I be trying not to stay on long, so that's
No,
why I talk fast. People be like, she talks so fast. I am from
no.
Baltimore, so we do talk fast. And I lived in New York 7 years. I moved to Houston from Brooklyn, so I'm in
Wow.
Houston now, loving it.
Wow. Tia, we appreciate you calling in and sharing your
God bless
story.
you. Love you.
You too. Take
Bye.
care. Bye. Wow. Tia, that's an OG right there. Wow. That was deep. All right, let me get to some more callers. All right. Guys, you're just joining us. This is our Thirsty Thursday. We are talking about a variety of reality TV news, and we sprinkled in a little bit about the Twitch situation, which I'm glad that we did because I didn't expect Jen Shaw on this episode to talk about that as well. And for the news that happened yesterday and all the coverage that we did to that yesterday, I'm like, wow. All right. Anthony is backstage. We're going to bring Anthony up next. What's going on, Anthony?
Hey, Kempire. Anthony from Los Angeles, California. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thank you. So my point is going to be about Salt Lake City.
Okay.
To be fully honest, I have not been watching Salt Lake City from last week and also from yesterday. I've been just getting my information through your recaps and from Instagram and Twitter meme accounts. So I've been doing just fine without watching it, honestly.
Damn.
But honestly, though, I been over it just because, okay, I'm going to be honest. I was on Team Shaw. I was on her side because literally when the news broke, she literally said that she's 100% innocent. And I'm like, okay, so I want to see you prove it. I'll be on your side. Sometimes I won't, but mainly I just want to see how you do it. And she, but now she pleaded guilty. Like I'm just over it because of that. Because that was her main story, to plead her innocence. And now that we know her fate, it's like I'm just waiting for this to be over and for her to do her time.
How did you feel though when the news broke that she admitted guilt? Like, how did you feel, especially because you were so pro her at the time?
I mean it's 98% rate that they have.
Yeah.
So I knew they couldn't be wrong with it. But she literally said she's innocent. That's all she's been saying.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like more interested in seeing how she was going to plead innocent. Like, how was she going to prove it?
Yeah.
Did I really believe her? I was more 50-50. I can't say that for the other housewives.
I'm innocent!
But I was at least looking at her and trying to see what she would do. So I was at least invested into that.
Yeah.
But now that we know what she's going to go through, it's like I'm just over it. I just want to see the reunion and to see her face the music, answer all these questions, face the ladies, face Andy, and also face us as the viewers, as in why you've been lying this entire season.
Damn. All right.
Like, she just needs to go. And obviously for next season, I agree with the other callers that the show either needs to wrap or to do a big shakeup. Like, didn't we learn from New York City, 5 housewives do not work?
Yeah.
Promote Angie K, promote Dana, and Ms. Harrington. She got to go.
Okay. All right, Anthony. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Kempire. Have a good one.
You too. Wow. All right, we're going to take one last call. Ebony, I'm going to bring you up in just a second. Let me just say thank you. We had a couple of super chats. Angelique, thank you so much for the super chat. Angelique, you're at work, right? Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. Angelique says home. Oh, wait. Home for... Oh, I'm sorry. Angelique, she says she's home for Graham's funeral in Detroit and doing the cleanup thing. Glad I caught alive. Y'all got me giggling. Happy holidays. Check on all your people. Angelique, I'm so sorry to hear. Because the reason why I asked Angelique if she was at work is she said usually I'm her work boo while she's working. So I'm sorry to hear about your grandmother. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you supporting the channel. Miss Esquire, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Esquire says, when it comes to mental health conditions, they can wreak havoc on your mind and body over years and make you susceptible to SI. You don't die from SI. It's how you transition, not why. The underlying condition is what takes your life. Thank you so much, Miss Esquire, for the super chat. So we just got another one. Let me just say thank you. Hold on. Oh, we got another one from Miss Esquire. She says, those of us who are religious have to encourage institutions to abandon the theology around SI. So much to say another time. We appreciate it, Miss Esquire. And it really is a larger conversation It definitely is a larger conversation. We still need to continue to have those conversations about it because we still have people that you would never think. You're like, oh my gosh. And it continues to happen. All right. Ebony, I'm going to bring you up as our final caller. Hold on. Hey, Ebony.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello.
What's going on?
Good. Okay, good. So I just want to have a couple things I wanted to say. One, I actually do remember like when we first started the Housewives, they had to write a blog. I think we should go back to words are our weapons. And I think that people should write a blog. There should be a gag order. If your season is on, you should have a gag order. You should not be able to retaliate, talk through it. Explain yourself through words with how we did in the very, 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 very beginning. And I don't think that they should do that anymore. I also think that Teresa Goga cannot go away because that's Teresa. That is her whole like story is her brother and her sister-in-law. When they go, who she's gonna pick on? Margaret Joseph?
Probably.
Or she could pick on what's the other her friend, the Turkish lady?
Jennifer Aiden.
Jennifer Aiden, yes, 100%. I just think that that's who she's a pick on. So I think that Jorgoga should not go anywhere. And that's really, I think that's all I have. The bloggers comment, let the audience comment. Please let us be the ones who like tear them down. But go back to just being the wordsmith that they were. Because I do remember that we used to like look up on their blogs and stuff like that. So with that being said, hope everyone have a great day.
You too. Take care, Ebony.
Bye.
Here's the thing, though, in regards to the blogs that they used to do on bravo.com, bravotv.com, I think them reacting to these things on social media is also part of their contract, especially the Twitter stuff. That's also part of their contract to promote on social media. They like it when they go back and forth. They feel as if it brings more eyes on the show and then for the reunion and for future seasons. So they're benefiting from these housewives acting a fool on social media. So even when Andy says, you're horrendous on social media, he partially is like, that's true, but he's also like, yeah, I love it. You know what I mean? Because it helps promote the show. Very much like those of us that talk about it on Twitter, those of us that talk about it on YouTube or TikTok, they all benefit from it. All right. Elizabeth on TikTok says, I don't understand why Dolores doesn't tell Teresa that she's the problem. I mean, I think that's our major problem with Dolores recently. It's just like, you're not keeping your friends accountable. We love Dolores, but Dolores, the storyline is not hitting. Her Teresa's butt was not hitting either. It's just like, I don't know. I'm going to give Dolores one more season on Real Housewives of New Jersey. One more. But she's lucky that she's likable and she really has real friendships, long-term friendships with these people. That's the only reason why I haven't been like, she's got to go. But she's got to do better too. We shall see. I haven't heard any drama for Dolores for this season. So maybe she's just going to be a good time girl, have a good time. I don't know. Speaking of good time girls, what was going on with Heather? Heather was running around, showing off her boobies. I mean, I expected of Jen Shaw up against the window. I'm like, that's not interesting, guys. Like, that was cute for the Real Housewives of New York 10 years ago. We don't find that, at least I don't find it cute anymore. You guys will let me know in the live chat or in the replay crew. Were you entertained by their antics or them dressing up as Marilyn Monroe? I have to say, though, Jen Shaw probably was the best looking. Who do you guys thought was the best looking in this whole getup? I feel like Jen Shaw, she made it her own. Like, she didn't go, like the other ladies did with their wigs. I felt like she really had a stylist do that. I don't know how she paid for it, but anyways. First of all, thank you all for being here. Thank you to our Team Kempire Royal Court and our senior royal members of the channel. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And thank you to our moderators for being here and allowing us to have fun, serious, all kinds of conversations in the live chat in a free, open, fun space. All right. Replay crew, as always, I want to know where you're watching from, how you would rate the latest episodes of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Are you watching Riches? What do you think about Below Deck Adventure? And let me know those things in the comment section. Thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you all at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. PST for our Real Housewives of Miami recap. Yes, we got to talk about that. Let me say thank you. Tia, thank you so much for the super chat and for calling in. She says, y'all kind words have been encouraging me. Yesterday was very hard for me with the news and was my favorite on B-Day. I needed this live. Laughter is medicine. I love you all. I am Tia B. Thank you so much, Tia. We appreciate you being here and for calling in. And thank you so much for the super chat. Everyone, have a great rest of your day. I will see you again at 5:30 p.m. Eastern for our Real Housewives of Miami recap. Let's get out of here with some holiday music because that's the only way that we should end the live, right? I'm just saying.